So good afternoon to all of you. I hope you all did your exam well. The paper was very much as predicted. So I thought I'll quickly discuss some answers with you because you should also get back to your other JEE and other exams. So a quick look at the paper today. So I think the first question was very clear. I don't want to explain this again to you because you've already finished your exams. So the first question is always first the positional parameters and then default parameters. So it is false. Select statement with combined with a distinct. There is only one clause distinct. And this was also a pretty straightforward questions. We had said you precedence, right? So first 16 into 5, 80 divided by 4 will be 20, right? 20.0, 40 by 5 will give you a 8. 8 minus 8 will give you a 0.0. So that's the answer for this. Again, here you can look at this. It's going to start from 2, so you can straight away eliminate it. It's going to be random.rand range of 2. So because it is rand range, we know it's going to be only 0 and 1. So straight away the answers with green can never come in the answer. So the only possible option is going to be yellow hash. So it will either be yellow hash red, red hash, or red hash red hash. So that's the possibilities for you. So option A is the correct answer. Cardinality of the table. So there's only one function that is there in the answer here. So it's easier than our usual practice papers, I would say, the MCQ part of it. Send and receive emails. There is only one email protocol here, SMTP. There is no POP3 also. Invalid. So you cannot do this bracket with the dict. It's not very clear here. This bracket you cannot do. So this is the wrong statement. Again, we had done a lot of slicing questions. You can say that colon 4 start with 0, go till 4. So the first 4 characters. So this is the correct answer. Then minus 5 from the last, if you take, it's going to give you this answer. We also know the statement, basic statement, it will not give. You cannot add a string and an integer. This is the wrong statement. This was a little bit tricky question wherein you have a split. It will be splitting it properly like this. So the first element will be G20 and then the next element will be presidency at, right? So there will be 2 elements in this list now. And you're going to print from the reverse because it's -2, but you're going to start here, right? You're going to go in this direction. So first this will be printed, but you're skipping 1. So there is nothing else to print. So only this will be printed. So the answer has to be presidency. Bandwidth is a range of frequencies. When I say frequency, it is going to be hertz for you. So Python code, there is no global here, which means whatever is A is 20 here, it will be printed here for us. Name of the exception, compulsory, no, we said this just now. We don't have to give anything. So this is a false statement. Not a DDL, very, very easy and predicted question, right? So update is a DML command. So that is the answer here. And this is the definition. Protocol is a set of rules. We have studied it so many times. And so it's not very clear here. I think this is your answer because 0, 1, and 2 you can use f.6. Everything else is f.c. So only this is -1. This offset is not there for f.6. So this is your correct answer. CSV file is a human readable. Same question we have done in so many sample papers. It's separated by, so definitely this is a correct statement and this is also a correct statement, but both are having no relation. So the answer should be B. Allow.sort will give you an error. It will give you an error. You cannot sort it like this. So the answer should be A here. There is no sort method. That's the answer here. Right? Very easy questions. You have XML. XML is extensible markup language, point-to-point protocol. One difference, you know, so many differences, but the basic difference, it has a dedicated path. It does not have a dedicated path. Web hosting, we just saw this. Web hosting is the process. Define the term web hosting. The process of, like I have YouTube, it is a server. In YouTube server, I am uploading my videos. That is a web hosting. Same way, any 2 web browsers, you have Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge. You can give any 2 examples here. Same question we have done in so many sample papers. Exactly a pattern, I would say. This colon was missing. And then you have an extra bracket missing here. And then you cannot do a divided by 2. This is a logical error here. So I have to do a mod 2. And then the indentation error. I told you there will be 4 errors. There are 4 errors here. So half mark for each error. This is again a relatively easier program that we can do. You would have just done the same program wherein you would have just set for each key in yes. For each key in yes, you could have added sum is equal to sum plus key. Sum plus S of key of, you can put a for loop here, maybe another for loop you could have done, or to avoid that, because it's only a 2-mark program, you could have directly written here like the sum is equal to S of key of 0 plus S of key of 1 plus S of key of 2. So this would have given you the addition of all these things. And then once you finish adding for each key, you get out and you can just say average is equal to S by 3. So once you do this, you know the average, and based on that, you can now put an if here, right? For each key, you can do this work. You can just check if average is greater than, right? It's a program. We expected this. I told you, you'll have around 5 questions and 2 marks from Python review itself. They would ask you a string program and dictionary program, and say they've asked you a dictionary program here. It was not difficult one. It was doable, right? You could, if you have a lot of time, I believe, so you could have definitely done that question. And I think this is the or choice for that, right? So they have given you every nth alphabet of the word is replaced with an underscore. I'm not sure if anyone wrote this program. So if you have to just check if this is the count, you could even use slicing to do this, I think. So maybe I will do this, complete this, and I'll upload this for you. The logic should be simple. You can either count and do that. You can either count every three characters. If it is there, you can just replace that. You have a function also for that. You can just say s dot replace what with what, right? You're going to replace, let's say, s of I, the character, with a underscore. Underscore is what they have given. Now you can do this inside a for loop, so that each time, right? So each time, and it will work. Actually, when I say strings, replace function alone works with strings. Usually it will not work. They will not allow us to replace anything in place, but replace function will work perfectly. So this I, you can just say I is equal to I plus n. So first it will start with 0 and or whatever, right? First it will start with 3, wherever they are given the n number. So you start your loop with n, and you can go on till the length of the string, and every time it will skip those many characters and keep going on. I have not tried this program, but I think this should work for you. So with 2 lines, you can finish this program. This will work perfectly for you. Okay, this is a nice question. They are just taken, if you look at the logic of this program, they are just taking whichever is divisible by 4. The length has to be multiples of 4. So Himalaya and Alps are the only 2 strings here. So you're going to print the key. Key is Himalaya. And they're given a separator as hash, and they are printing the length. Same way, the next immediate value is Alps, and there is a hash 4. Right? So this is going to be your output for this program. And you can look at it, there's only a separator, which means there is no end given. So the next line will be printed in the next line for you. Very easy, right? Very easy question. This is C. Remove the item whose key is already given. So you have a dictionary name is given as students. So you can just say del students of Nisha. So this will take care of removing this key from this dictionary. Or I can also say students.pop Nisha. That will also work for me. I can use whichever I want, right? So this is for the first one. Second one is also easy. Substring, you can directly do a count. Number of occurrences. So you can just say print message dot count of is. So this is going to give you the output, right? When you just say this, is going to give, so it is mainly based on functions. We predicted this also because it was exactly as per your sample paper. They're given the same question in sample paper also. Same type of question. Now the OR choice is again an easy question only. We have studied this interconversions. I can convert between list and tuple. We know this. So you can have a tuple with a list of some subjects. And you can just say L is equal to list of T. And they're asking you delete the last element of the list. I can just say L.pop. So these 3 steps will take care of my 2 marks for this question also. Pretty straightforward question this is. So the first question is also easy. Second question is also easy. First question, we have done this also. Attribute category has to be added. So alter table. Alter table sports. Add column is optional. So I can directly say category. But category, there is no type given here. So I will give it based on this example here. I will just say it is a varchar of 10. So this is my query for this. And then one more query they are saying insert. So insert into sports values. I'd have to have everything as a single quote. This will become important. Above 18. Everything is a string here. So this is for this query. The other easier query is the other one here. View a list of tables in the database exam. So first has to be use exam. Show tables. For the second query, describe or disk. Both are correct. Term 1. Pretty easy question that was. Then you have your next question, wherein you have this output based question. We have done the same question with P and Q, if you remember. Same model of question. Where also, I think in one of the videos I've done this. You just have to go with the flow. So first time it's 100 and 200. You're giving both the values. So it's going to go here as 100 and 200. So B is equal to 300 definitely. And A is going to be 300 minus, it will become, I think, 100. So the first output is going to be 300 hash 100. I think this you would have done correctly. When you come out, the value does not change because you're returning only B. So when you're printing this, X is equal to, the value of X is going to be 300 and this will become 200. But the next time you're calling it with X comma Y, you're calling it with Y alone, which means now Y is 200. You're calling this with 200. We already did this wherein we said the first argument will be replaced. We did a same question in one of the sample papers. So it will be 200. A will remain as 10. So when I say this, this is going to be 210. I think this is one area where you could have made a mistake. The next value is going to be subtracting from 210. So 210 minus 10 will be 200 for me. And once I come out, this value would not have changed because you're returning only the B value here. So this will be your output at both these places. It will be at. Right. So this is one kind of slow question, which if you have done previously and did slowly in the exam also, you would have got correct on this question also. Again, an interesting 3-mark question this is. So here for the previous question, if you have done the first part correct, first 2 lines will carry 1 mark and next 2 lines will carry 1 mark for you. If you just made a mistake in the one of the numbers, they might give you half mark. So if you have made one small mistake, you could get up to 1.5 marks in the previous question. So here kind of, if you look at it, it's a palindrome question. So race car is a palindrome, car is a palindrome, car is not a palindrome, whereas radar is a palindrome, but only after you convert it into uppercase. So it's very obvious then, if it's a palindrome, you print each letter with a star. Otherwise, you print it with a hash. So you start with race car. So it's going to be R star, A star, C star, everything, right? And then this is going to be with the car hash. And again, radar is going to be with the star. So this should be your race car fully, right? Race. So this is going to be the output for this program. I'm not doing this for you. I think we have done this correctly. Select item, comma, sum of quantity, group by item. So how many items are there? There is a rice, there is a pulses, there is a wheat. Right? So these are your items and you have to just add the quantity and write it here. I hope you have done this correctly. Select where order date is between 2023-11 and 2023-11 is here, 12 is here. I think these are only the 2 items here. So order number, you have 1003, 1004, comma quantity. You just have to write it correctly. Item is wheat and rate is again. I think this is also a straightforward query. There is no join also asked here, which is very surprising here. See, I think you should have gone with, all of you should have gone with question number, the or choice question here, because the first question I think is definitely going to be a little tricky to do. So I think you should have done this. Just a minute. We have done this question so many times. I'll share the screen for you. So I think this is pretty much the logic that you could have used for this question, right? You could have just used read the entire file and then have two counts here, and uppercase, lowercase you can count, and you can print both of them. So that is what is asked here also. So they have not given you any format. So separately counts and displays the number of uppercase and lowercase alphabets. So very easy, straightforward program for 3 marks. That is. Add a constraint. So alter table projects. Add primary key. And you have to just write the column name. Here the column is P_ID. No need to add a column because the column is already there. To change the languages, update. You have to use an update statement. Update table name, set update projects set. This is equal to Python, where PID P002. P_ID is equal to P002. Delete the table along with its data. So table with its data. So anyway, the structure they should have said. Delete the table projects itself. They are not saying only the content, so it has to be dropped. This is again a very, very interesting question. We have not done the exact question there. So how do you find out if it has 5 or more digits? It's very interesting. You can just, if you have to find the length, I'm not sure if length of an integer is going to work, but length of a string will definitely work. So what I did was I just used a function. So this is an easier program that you could have done, right? You could have just said for n in nums, if the length is greater than or equal to 5, then append it. Usually we just append it if there is some condition. I already told you if the condition is wrong alone, you could lose some marks, but the structure is correct, you will get your full marks. So I changed it into a string. You could have used any other logic here, but this is a better way, right? You just count the length and you append it, and the def pop function is the same as any other function. I have not done any change here. Only the push has to be changed. So push will carry some marks for you. So you have to be careful there. But I think any other logic to count would have worked here. You could have split it into a list and then a length of list. That also would have worked, right? You could have taken each element, converted it into a list. So that would also have worked. You could have, but easier way is using a string and doing it. Okay. So coming to these two tables, I think this also was pretty straightforward. From the first top name, student name is in one table. There is a join here. Number of is null. S_type is given a null. So you have to just say is null. That is what you should have used for this query. We have done this query also. Name starts with V is V percentage, right? Display student ID in alphabetical order. So alphabetical order is order by. So this is your query for student name, order by student name. S_name. Okay, same program. I think even the peripheral also we have already done in one of the sample papers, but it's similar to your furniture.csv page. Right, we did this question yesterday only. We did in the sample paper. Add device, same program. I have already shared that code also of the guest paper. It is there. You have to accept a record from the user and add it to a CSV file. That's all. There is no mention of any heading to be given or nothing is mentioned here. So it's all value addition. You could have just written plain code. Take ABC, get the PID, P name, price, and then record is equal to ABC, and then write row. The file dot write row, import CSV. You should have done 4 marks for this program. See, 4 marks for this question. And to count and display, same as count device. We have only done 3 models in CSV. One is add, one is count, one is search. So we're on the count. You just have to read for row in, for row, each row in that record, whatever you're reading, right? CSV dot reader. After you do CSV dot reader, you will do it in, let's say, R. So for each row in R, you just count how many rows are there, right? So this also we have done already. Very easy land design question also, right? So to connect them, yes, you could use star topology itself. Which block is Vajra block? And then they have asked you wired. I was just thinking if they ask a hilly region and radio wave, microwave confusion, they've avoided all that for you. They've asked you straight away optical fibers. So because they have said a fast and effective, so we know that's the only answer possible here. Which network device to connect all the communicate with each other? So for this, our answer is switch. Hub or switch, both they will accept. Data loss, whenever data loss comes itself, the answer is repeater. This is also a straightforward question. Most of you, see, both are okay questions only. This is a copy new, which we did, like if you remember that athletics.dat and basketball question, that is one model that we did. That is the last model we did. Here you can see that differentiate between W and A is a 2-mark question. So you need to at least write 2 points there. So it will open the file, it will erase the file. If the file is already there, it will erase the contents, it will not do that. And then where it will open, the file pointer will always be at the beginning here, it will be at the end there. So these are major 2 differences here. And same as a dictionary type, you just have to check, right? So if you have you read everything, x is equal to pickle, till this is same, x is equal to pickle dot load. After you load the file, you have everything in your X is a dictionary now. For each key in dictionary, if X of key of 1 is greater than 1000, very, very straightforward line. Then you do a pickle dot dump. X comma F1. Same as your basketball question. The condition alone is changing here because it's a dictionary, right? So I think this also you would have done well. So if you have done the other part of the question, this is a straightforward question again. It's the same question, but it's a list model. So it's a easy. So I've told you both the models will be there. So if you have done the first question, this is the model. Second question, same thing. Display detail for I in X, for each row in X. 1, 2, 3. So again, it is going to be if I of 2 is greater than, so is less than 25,000. Print I. This should be your main code. Other things are there. Import pickle is there for you, and then you have try, accept, everything is in place. The change that you have to do in the usual template programs that we have is only this. Okay. Coming to our last question. Define Cartesian product with respect to RDB. You should have done your table example. We have done this so many, but it's only for 1 mark, right? So you could have taken the same example that I had given. So you have only 2 fields, much more than enough. You have serial number and name. And you have, let's say in another table, you could even have only 1 value just to make it like easy. So you have a B, you have a C, you have a CD. Let's say you have X and Y here. You could have shown that AB is joined to X, AB is also joined to Y, and then CD is joined to X and CD is also joined to Y. Something like that you could have made up and given an example in define. Define only they're asking. Example also is not actually mandatory. You could have just defined Cartesian product is a combination of all the rows and columns, right? It's a pair, ordered pairs. You're writing every row, every tuple in table A as an ordered pair with table B, and you're making that. That is the Cartesian product. But I would have definitely gone to the second question only, because if you look at the first question, it's very easy. Any 2 features of SQL, you know that it will avoid data redundancy. It will give you data integrity. It will give you a lot of check constraints so that your data is safe and secure. All these features you could have written any story here. Advantages of SQL, first page in our question also. And there is no fill in the blank. We also predicted this because in guest paper, I had told you there could be 2 models. One could be the fill in the blanks as they have so far as till 2023, or as per the sample paper, it is a program. So whichever program you have chosen, right? This is also a program. Here they are asking you, they have given you the database name here. So they have asked you to update the quantity to 20. So here the query is also, there is no need for format. They have directly given you the query. So as usual, you will just say import MySQL dot connector as whatever, and then you can say yes is equal to, connection is equal to yes dot connect. Give all the parameters here. Database name is given in this question, so give that also. Then cursor is equal to connection dot cursor. And then you can create a command here. You can create your update command directly. You can give update this whatever to 20. And then you can just say cursor.execute and you can commit it. So very straightforward question. This is same way here, but the only thing missing is they have not given you the database name here. They've given you the flight name, but there's no database name, I believe. So I'm not sure. You should have done that because they did not give. At least you should have given your own database as test or something. You could have included this in your code. Otherwise, you don't know what to use, right? Which database. But anyway, they have not given it. So maybe they should give you marks if you attend this question. This is display all the details. So the command is going to be select star from flight. So this is your command because you want all the details. So this is your command. So you can just say cursor.execute of command. So once you execute this, I can say R is equal to cursor.fetch all. And for each row in R, you can just say, that's it, to display all the details of the passengers. So no need to even beautify because it's a 4-mark question. You just have to do the connection parameters correctly. Username has to be root, host has to be local host, password has to be airplane, everything in single quotes. You have to remember to do this. So username equal to password equal to host equal to database equal to, right? So they would maybe appreciate if you did the database part, but even otherwise it is okay because even if they are given the database name, then it is a different story. They have not at all given the database name. So you can't even say use database, right? So I still think because they have missed to give it in the question, they will give you full marks even if you are not written the database name anyway, right? Ideally, it has to be like this then. Command is equal to use whatever database. And then you should have said cursor.execute. I would not put it at that. Fine. So this is regarding your paper. I think that's the last question. So I hope you all did well. Wish you all the best for your college admissions and stay in touch, right? So I will try to keep doing more videos on your college syllabus also. So you just keep messaging me which concepts of Python or which language you want me to continue teaching you in, right? All the best and see you then. Bye-bye.